Hi, John.
Hey, Alex.
Do you know what I hate?
What's that?
Flash Thompson.
Oh, really?
No, I mean, the kid did a fine job, but I couldn't think of anything to say I hated about this.
Oh, I don't like this movie. I don't like Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man.
Really?
It's fine. I mean, it's not. It's like getting mad at Denny's. Like, I knew what I was getting when I went into it, but still, they kind of fucked up my moons over my hammy.
Wow, I am not shocked because, I mean, basically you told me you didn't like this previous to this moment.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought this movie was delightful.
It's okay. It's fine. It's a fine kids movie. It's a fine kids movie. It's like a C+. I think it's too bloated to be breezy as it wants to be. If it was an hour and a half, it'd be great, but it is not. It is 2 hours and 15 minutes of a lot of the same shit. I don't have a huge... I mean, I'm fine with Spider-Man, the characters. There's not like a whole like, well, they fucked this up or that kind of shit. I don't know. It didn't do it for me. Tom Holland's fine. I like him.
Yeah. What I don't like about this is you going, well, it's a kid's movie. It's
absolutely a teen.
No, I get that,
movie.
But you're being like edgelord because it's not like when we're doing like Boss Baby, you didn't go, well, for a kid's movie.
Yeah. No. Okay. No. But I'm just saying. I'm saying
you were interneting at me.
If you approach it at the level of a movie for teens, it's fine. Same thing with Boss Baby. If you are a child watching Boss Baby, it's fine. But if you want to be a grown up about it, it's not very good.
I want to be a grown up about it because I think this movie is a delight.
Yeah, and it's got great moments in it, but it's just long and there's a lot of stupid shit.
All right. Well, weirdly enough, as much as I like this movie, I do agree with that statement because, well, other than I didn't think it was too long. Maybe I did.
It's way too long.
Yeah,
it's way too long. There's all these things. So that like the essential dramatic tension in the movie is Spider-Man being torn between being a regular kid and then having to go do Spider-Man shit, and they do that 4 or 5 times. Like, it's the same choice a billion times. And then at the end of each choice, very little consequences. It reminded me of my feelings about Catch Me If You Can. Where Catch Me If You Can was like, oh shit, is he going to write another check? Oh, he did. Oh, no, he couldn't possibly write another bad check. He wrote another bad check. Oh my God, he couldn't do it again. He did it again. Like, it just was really samey. And I needed much less of that.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I mean, in that I know 2 + 2 doesn't equal 5.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel that. I mean, in that, I didn't think they were setting up the same kind of dramatic setup of him choosing between the two. It was just more I don't think it was very effectively done, but I think the heightening of stakes because all right, so
there were no stakes.
Dude, did you see how hot that 15-year-old girl was?
It did not matter.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you have the choice, this kid's 15 years old in the world of this movie.
Right.
No, let me finish. And he goes, come on, Peter, let's go be skimpy and get wet at a pool together, tee-hee. And that dude chose being a hero over that. Mm-hmm. If that doesn't heighten tension, you, sir, do not remember being 15.
Maybe the first time, yes. But like the 4th or 5th time, it's like he's clearly made his choice. I get it. And it's also that, so they didn't do any, if you know Spider-Man at all, they didn't do any Uncle Ben shit.
Oh, thank Christ.
Yeah, well, so fair enough. Like, this is the, 3rd reboot of this series. If you followed it at all. And this movie kind of expected you to have, to a degree, because the whole opening Civil War sequence really expected you to know what had happened up until then, because they didn't really do a good job of conveying what had actually happened. But you were sort of reminded of it. So without like that Uncle Ben shit, the whole with great power comes great responsibility. When that whole thing happens, his choice is like, I can't sit by and let things happen. That was the choice he made as a character in those movies. This one, it's just, I want to be an Avenger. I want to be an Avenger. I want to be an Avenger.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no dramatic tension of like, oh, but I can be a teen. Yeah, but I want to be an Avenger. And it's that. And again, like any consequence that happens is really quickly like, whoosh, just quickly dealt with. It's not a problem. Which again, if this was an hour and a half movie, just breezy as shit, fine. But like I said, by like the 3rd or 4th times this happens, I'm just like, yep, all right. People should have died on that ferry, by the way. But whatever.
Yeah, well, all right. So there not being a lot of stakes. Mm-hmm. I think that's just kind of a ubiquitous problem with every superhero movie.
Well, particularly Marvel movies, yeah.
Yeah. Well, even DC. It's not like I think like that guy that was called "I'm Gonna Die" in the 3rd act died.
Right.
But it's not like anybody ever like no one of consequence. Like, I mean, they really are these, like, everybody is made of titanium movies where, I mean, super, everybody comes back from the dead and whatever. But, yeah, I mean, I suppose so. I guess I just always taken it as those movies. That's just the way these movies operate is there are no stakes for the characters that are long lasting for the most part.
But the way this movie also treats death, like when Michael Keaton just straight up murders a guy and it's just like, boop, boop. He crossed that line into murder apparently. And it's just like, Merp. And then there's a joke about, I can't think of the actor's name right now, but his teacher, he's like, I can't lose a student on a field trip. Not again. Boop, boop. Someone died. Who cares? Moving on.
Okay. Well, that was just a funny line, and I'm annoyed that you pointed that out because I found that very amusing.
I didn't. I was
his staring off into the distance and saying "not again." I found that so terribly amusing.
So I like the character of Spider-Man. All right, like I said, I'm not a huge fan, but like imagine if this movie existed in the DC universe rather than in the Marvel universe, where everyone's the comic relief, everybody. So it kind of takes away that kind of Spider-Man being the talky, funny guy. It takes that away a little bit because everybody's the comic relief in this movie, and I got really tired of that. Like Aunt May is trying to be funny. The Ned guy, who's basically a step below Foggy for me. I did not like him.
Okay, well, I think you're being a little nitpicky there because Aunt May wasn't funny at all. She was being a nerdy aunt.
Right, but that level of joke. They're like, oh, look at this nerdy aunt. That's throughout the entire movie.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's the same level as a lot of the jokes in this movie.
Because,
and there's some legitimately funny shit in this movie. But
no, there is a thing I have a problem with Marvel in which, like, everybody's Tony Stark at a certain point with the snippiness. But, like, I thought they did Aunt May well, where it's her joke is this foreign food has a funny name.
Yes.
I'm going to keep saying it, which I thought was like an endearing, that's the way an aunt would have humor.
Right, but I think that's a lot of the humor in this movie throughout a lot of it. So it just kind of felt like having your cake and eating it too, I guess. Because it's played off in that moment as like, yes, this is a stupid joke, but there's a lot of bad jokes.
Are you saying that because Ned's plus sized?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You're right. That's my problem with him. Not that he's kind of a pointless character.
Alexx hates body shaming. That's what the show should be called.
Alexx hates body shaming, John.
Yeah.
John, a perfect Adonis.
Yes. Well, yeah, just because you're chiseled out of testosterone and marble.
Every episode, I'm doing push-ups.
Yeah.
Every episode.
Which, by the way, just diet a little bit as well, because you're swole as fuck, but
I just have good shoulders. That's it. Just sick traps.
So okay, let's talk about the kind of opening thing. Well, one, they open with Michael Keaton kind of setting up why he's pissed off.
Right. Like I like Michael Keaton in this, and I think it's kind of an interesting character, but they don't really do a lot with it. And I feel like for a lot of the origin stories, for lack of a better word, because that's basically what this is without actually being an origin story, the villain is really kind of ancillary because it's really about the hero doing this. But the villain kind of, I don't think, represented any sort of like mirror image to him, or didn't like have a particular ethos that he needed to overcome, sort of like mirrored whatever it is he was going through to kind of overcome. I didn't really get that. He was just sort of there. But I still think Michael Keaton did a good job.
Yeah. Well, I thought what they were going for was the
blue collar working class guy.
Well, no, but it's he found power and used it to get money easily, which Peter could do, and he never thinks of it, because they do have that kind of interchange for at one point where Michael Keaton's like, "Come on, guys like us, we get," and frankly,
and he's absolutely right.
Yeah. He is correct, which I thought was a cool way, but
he's the whole time he wants to be Tony Stark's boy. He wants to be Tony Stark, so he's always on the side of power. He's always on the side of this perfect corporate can do no wrong, apparently, side. So there's no overcoming
he could easily
there.
Be on the, like, do you know how easily Spider-Man could just steal shit?
Yes, but I'm saying, but he doesn't. He never makes that choice. He is always just, I want Elon Musk to love me. That is always his point of view.
I guess I see what you're saying. Yeah. So, but the part of the beginning that I wasn't confused by, but I wonder what people going into this, having not seen the other Marvel movies, is where they do his little home video thing where Peter's like, hey, I'm about to get on a plane with Happy, and then, oh crap, I'm in Germany fighting these people, which that totally makes sense to me. And I found that, I love that sequence. But I've seen all the other Marvel movies, so if someone hasn't seen the other Marvel movies, is there any fucking way they would understand what happened there?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I had that same thought. And I don't know if this was the intention of the filmmakers, because it would still kind of work. I found that bit so lonely and sad. Just because it's him, because he starts recording this vlog for himself, and Happy, Jon Favreau's character, is like, you can't show this to anyone, right? And he's like, well, whatever. Oh, which, by the way, he doesn't do anything to stop him from recording. But it's just him recording the stuff in a phone, like, for no one.
Yeah.
Maybe, I guess, for him, but it just... So if in order to help show that Peter was an isolated kid or something, that could work. But personally, I just started thinking about like how sad that whole thing was.
Well, I thought that was part of his character.
Yeah, and but I don't know if that was the filmmaker's intent or not.
I thought it was, just because like it's clear that he's being picked on. Ned's his only friend. Like the only reason he even remotely has any like interest is because essentially he's putting out that Spider-Man, that SBD energy.
Right. Yes.
No,
No, that's right. No,
SMBD energy.
Right. BDSM.
Yeah, which is very confusing. Either way, Spider-Man big dick energy is the only reason anybody's ever interested in
That'd be big spider dick.
Oh, whatever. Yes. So, okay. I enjoyed that as a thing.
No, it was fun. It was a nice little recap.
Well, because I thought it was obvious. Not obvious, but I thought that was meant to be that he's an isolated character, because it cuts immediately to Flash Thompson calling him Pedance Parker when he's in school. Which cuts immediately too, but that's the next kind of major plot point.
Okay, so canonically speaking, Flash Thompson was always like a big like football star oaf guy.
Yeah.
And they changed it to just being like a guy kind of like Peter, but like more popular, I guess. But no one is ever around Flash Thompson. Does anyone even like Flash Thompson?
Well, I think he's just supposed to be the rich kid bully archetype instead of the strong kid. But because in nowadays, like, I sound like I'm a million here, but like in the modern culture, physical violence is just so abhorrent.
No, I
that if you
get
put him
it.
as a physical bully, that it comes across as something different. While when Flash Thompson, the original character, was written, that was just like kind of like, he's just razzing the boy by beating him mercilessly. Like, that was fun high school stuff. So you can't do that nowadays.
I just never got the indication that, and that doesn't mean it's going to stop bullying, but I never got the indication that anyone liked Flash at all.
No, his whole party was chanting Penis Parker with him. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, I don't have to like someone to do that. That's easy. I'll just do whatever anyone with a microphone
I'm just
tells
saying
me to
he
do.
knows how to get a room turned and lit.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know
Fair
what
enough.
either of those
No,
words mean.
but you used it correctly.
100%.
You learned that phonetically.
Yes.
I see your Lil Jon word of the day calendar.
Yes. I forgot to tear off scissor. And this is sort of where we're introduced to, I think this is where we're introduced to Liz, his paramour.
Yeah.
But I did like how we're introduced to them by her and her friends on the bleachers doing Marry, Fuck, Kill for the Avengers. Mm-hmm. And I found that so endearing, because that's a part of the Marvel universe you wouldn't think of, but like, they totally would be sex symbols, like if this were a world we lived in.
Sure, yeah.
And I just found it funny that that's, of course, high school girls would be talking about that.
Well, much in the same way that like those crooks are wearing like the shitty masks of the they would be marked in hell. Although the Thor mask, if I want to be nitpicky, the Thor mask didn't make sense because he never wore a winged helmet and he's always had a beard. But whatever.
Is that true? I didn't really.
Yeah, well, I mean, like that is the mask is the old Jack Kirby Thor, and that's not what this Thor has ever been.
I think the greatest character in this movie, and I wish she was in it more, though it probably would ruin it, is MJ, Zendaya.
But they didn't really give any context for her being in like all these scenes until like the very end, and then by that point it was like, yeah, obviously, like it wasn't really a big reveal. Because I'm like, why else would you be in all these scenes? Because this is very...
Oh, that she's MJ.
There's just shoehorned... Like when they're at the Washington Monument and there's the whole thing like, I don't want to visit things that were built by slaves. Why am I watching this? What does this have to do with anything that's going on right now?
Okay. Yeah, but that was a funny scene. I mean,
fair. I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I just was just like, what does this have to do with anything? This is just like, I'm woke, everybody. Okay, moving on. I don't know. It felt stupid and out of place, shoehorned in.
Well, I think being much older than me, I think you're letting your age show here.
That's true.
And you're letting your privilege show, frankly.
Right.
Is that in the world we live in now, and you're at a place so problematic as the Washington Monument that you need to address it, or you can't do anything about it.
Sure.
You know?
I bet you could. I absolutely 100% think that you could.
Yeah, well, if you and your white supremacist friends want to start making movies, then you can do it. But I think no, I just really like the security guard doing the so-so hand.
Yeah. I like if it was like built into the story better, I would love it. But it's not. It's just like, here's a joke. Okay, now back to the rest of the movie.
I maybe it's because most of my friends were like that girl in high school. That is just totally like, yep.
Oh no, absolutely. Mine. But like if Spider-Man, like in trying to save everyone, was like, it's weird that these people trapped in an elevator in the Martian Monument. This was built by slaves, and they're slaves to gravity. That would be 100% better. 100%.
I take back my liking that scene.
Yes.
Now that you've punched it up so much better.
It's the same thing, and I feel like we've talked about this all the time now, where it's like, not like too much, not enough. Where it's like she's in there a lot, but like she's not really a character. She's just someone that shows up and says things. And
that's why I like her in a kind of she's almost like an art, like an Edward Gorey kind of painting, like just like this weird thing standing in the corner.
Sure. And if it leaned more high schooly than it did, I think she would have more of a place. But I feel because it's sort of trying to, much like Spider-Man, straddle the two worlds. I think it's just not. She's not. None of the characters on that end are really fleshed out very much.
Yeah, well, I think the reason I liked her is that she wasn't fleshed out. Like, that's not the reason, but I thought that it worked really well. Of this kind of total outsider, like, what the fuck is this? But she's also like super confident, and and her like razzing the guy in detention. Mm-hmm. He's like, you don't even have detention. What are you doing here? It's like, I just like drawing people that are in crisis.
Now, every scene with Hannibal Buress I enjoyed, and
yes,
I know we're kind of going out of order, and that's fine. But the thing that I genuinely found funny throughout the movie was repeatedly he's like the gym teacher, and he's showing them these videos that Captain America has done.
Those are winners.
Because that is 100% what Captain America would do. Yes. Those like lame like presidential fitness challenge, and then here's how to be a good citizen.
I just love, and I'll hand it over to my good friend, your gym teacher.
Yeah, and he's pointing to the wrong side, and just the throwaway line of he's like, isn't that guy like a war criminal now? Hannibal Buress is always funny, but that was just great.
Yeah, pretty sure this guy's a war criminal now, but it's State
makes me show it. Yeah, that I thought was funny.
Who was the other guy? The other teacher, the one that lost the student that had the
Martin Starr. He was Haverchuck in Freaks and Geeks. He's Guilfoyle in Silicon Valley. I think he's one of those like Judd Apatow guys.
He's on Comedy Bang Bang sometimes.
Yeah. When the Silicon Valley Pooh crew shows up.
Okay, that's what I know him for, because I knew his voice and his face looks like that guy's got to be funny because look at his face.
And he was apparently in the Incredible Hulk as like a computer tech, and the excuse, because Marvel I guess doesn't like to cast people in different roles, and so their excuse was that he was getting his degree at that time. Which, if I could get a little meta inside baseball here, so this is a Sony movie. And Sony originally had the Spider-Man character that's outside of the Marvel thing. And it's, from viewing it from that standpoint, it's kind of gross that this whole movie is the Sony licensed guy being like, can I be in the Avengers? Can I be in Marvel? Can I be in Marvel? And it's just
I didn't think about that.
It's just like, oh, that's okay. It's like, you can make a Spider-Man movie, but you gotta kiss our ass.
Oh, that's too funny. Oh,
yeah.
If only they had a scene like, but Aunt May, I've always wanted to go to Disney World. Disney is like a land of magic and mystery, and I just wish I could go to Disney and work for them.
Well, I kind of started thinking about that too when they were building the Death Star Lego thing.
Oh yeah.
I was like, Lucasfilm. I wonder if they had to like. That was an issue. It doesn't matter, but it's a thing I thought of.
This is the part that for me was the slowdown point of the movie, because we're somewhere between the plot happening and whatever. But the one sequence I liked was the Ramones sequence where he's patrolling his neighborhood to the Ramones.
Yes.
And the greatest character in any movie ever is, hey, Spider-Man! Oh, okay. Do a flip.
Yeah.
And he does a flip. He's like, yeah.
Well, see,
I just, that's so, and I never say this. I don't, like, it's the most dumb shit thing in the universe to say, but that is such a New York thing that I was like, I love that.
Yeah, it's like, do a trick for me. All right, now you're a good guy.
That and Childish Gambino talking about, well, I like bread. And them talking about the better sandwiches of New York.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, God, that reminds me of New York so much.
But I did enjoy that, and we'll wait till we get to it, but I like that aspect of Spider-Man's growth story in terms of like, all right, I'm going to be a hero. I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm trying, but I'm fucking up, but it's still kind of fun. versus the all of a sudden I don't know how to use my powers. But we can talk about that when we get to that moment.
We're about it. We're around about the old robbing the bank sequence with the Avengers and their stolen technology.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that's a fun scene. But I have immense amount of problems with Michael Keaton's whole thing. So you were wronged by Tony Stark, who you were going to make money cleaning up this thing, and Tony Stark just moves in and kicks you out. So and then you find out you got a whole bunch of alien gear, and you're like, fuck it, we're gonna do something with it. So you become weapons dealers and like make all these aliens weapons that you're gonna sell to just thugs. Like Hydra exists. Like
Hydra has collapsed at this point.
Whatever. I'm just saying, like.
Saying.
If it, and particularly like 8 years on, because I think this is supposed to take place like 8 years after the incident or whatever. Like, you haven't made any inroads. You're just selling shit out of a van. And then like you've also have technology. It's much like the robots in Halloween 3. You already have technology that you could just sell that and live like a king forever. You have something that can phase shift matter. What do you need anything else for?
The only thing I can respond to that is that in the Marvel universe, the cinematic and TV universe, Hydra and the other top level villains and other like evil countries already have that tech.
Okay.
Because the world we live in is far more advanced. The world they live in is far more like Hydra is like what do they call them? Life model decoy androids that can look and speak exactly like you.
Sure.
Like they have full sentient robots. Like they have all that tech.
Okay.
So
that was
my only thought is, I mean, it's a good point, and I don't know if this is the answer, but watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it seems like the bad guys have fucking great stuff.
That I will because I'm not familiar with the Marvel expanded universe. I will accept that answer. But that was just something that was driving me nuts. I'm like, you're using. It's like, let me use this solid gold can opener encrusted with diamonds to open up this thing to let me get into a bank so I can steal $5.
Yeah,
it just was like, you have a thing that can phase shift matter. What are you doing?
Yeah. Also, I mean, the phase shift, the matter thing is just walk into a bank and take all the money you want. That part annoyed me because I liked him staying on the sidelines and selling tech until we get to the big job at the end where he goes, fuck it, let's do it. He should have said, fuck it, let's rob Fort Knox or whatever, that building from Die Hard 3 or whichever Die Hard that's got the gold underneath New York. Because that's in New York.
Yeah.
And there's no sandwich boards needed.
At first I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, so they'll become weapons dealers. Fair enough. And I guess that guy, one of the guys in his crew is the Tinkerer, who's a Marvel character. And then it was like, there's two guys that end up being the Shocker, which, if you care about comics, that was a thing, I guess.
Well, there's actually 3 in the comic universe. There's 2. Well, there's one that was really bad at it, and then 2 that were kind of like on a lighter at it. So there was like 1 in the stink, and then like the 2 in the pink.
Well, and there's
sorry, I just did that.
As is the listener. But there's several things like that. Like the guy they're selling the guns to later is who is Nacho from Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Or no, sorry, from Better Call Saul. He is the Scorpion in the Spider-Man universe.
Yeah.
That's that same character who I guess is not a gun runner. I don't know. But some things I wrote about this, people were all pissed off about that. I don't care.
Oh, whatever. He's a bad guy. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's fine.
They're trying to set up the Sinister Six, I think.
Yeah, but it's like the Vulture wasn't Michael Keaton in the comic, so it's fine.
Yeah, the Vulture also, like, he was some old dude.
And had wings. It's
I mean, I guess
feathers.
Michael Keaton's an old dude, but in the comics he was, like, ridiculously, like, I mean, he looked like a vulture without putting on a suit,
Right, yeah. It was like Mr. Burns.
Yeah, no, seriously, yeah. It looked like he had Mr. Burns' body as well. So the other, the foiled heist thing where he fights the guy in the ATM, which I enjoyed that sequence.
Yeah.
But I like that he saved the cat, even though save the cat is the hero movement. I actually thought that was a funny way to do it, or like I don't know, I just enjoyed it. But
I liked that bit of, so he's trying to be a superhero, and the guy with the fancy gun shoots a laser that hits his favorite bodega across the street. And I like that moment of me trying to do this is affecting my real life and the world around me. And that's the only time I think in the movie that really legitimately happens.
But here's the problem with that, though. $5 sandwich? Really?
Hell yeah.
In New York?
Yeah, why do you think that's so important?
In 2017?
Yeah, that's why it's so great. I went to a place in San Francisco that had $4 sandwiches. It was
Really?
magical. Yeah. They weren't the most amazing thing. They were simple sandwiches, but they were great for $4.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the most amazing part.
If I could remember the name of the place, I would plug it. It's right off. It's on Castro somewhere. That's all I know. So that one place, if you listen to the show,
yeah.
If you are Forrest or Bill or Stephanie Quick, there you go.
And you happen to be in San Francisco.
And you are, well, no, if any of those three own a sandwich shop in San Francisco, this is the sandwich shop I'm talking about.
I'm pretty sure.
You're welcome.
Weirdly enough, I think all of them do. I think that's all their day jobs. I don't know.
Two guys, a girl, in a sandwich shop?
Yeah. I don't know how that happened. I guess on iTunes, when I put our category of who wants to listen, I should have said sandwich shop owners.
Sandwich shop owners somewhere in the Castro district.
So this is where we go to the party in the burbs, where they find themselves invited to Liz's house.
Yes. Well, so it's been Ned has found out that Peter is Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I actually like that reveal of
that was a cute moment. He climbs in and then like it's revealed that Ned has been there the whole time. I think you even see that in the trailer. But
yeah,
it was cute and I enjoyed it.
And they dropped the Lego thing, which was fun because apparently that's not a special effect. They actually made interns build like 4 of those.
And then I was reading. I think it was on IMDb or something where it was like, well, so actually they says the Star Wars Death Star model is this many pieces, but in reality it's this many pieces.
No shit, what a piece of shit.
I know,
movie.
like, God damn it, who cares?
Oh no, I'm going the other way. I'm saying this movie should be rewritten.
Man,
they need to ADR.
Yeah. It's when I read shit like that it's some of my nitpicky shit. I'm like, no, I am right. I am a normal person.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Okay, so he finds out he's Spider-Man, and then
he lets it slip that Peter Parker knows Spider-Man because he wants to use that juice and thinks Peter should use that juice to be cool.
Yeah, and to make sweet amour to Liz.
I would have liked a little bit more if there was, because like I said, like him struggling with wanting to use it for those like just personal gain, where I feel like every choice he has to do that, he doesn't do it.
I would have liked to have seen it more, especially with the Liz stuff. Because I mean, at 15, if I had superpowers, there's no way I wouldn't. That's all I would use it for is having sex. I wouldn't stop. I would just stop enough crime that pretty girls in my high school knew I was a superhero, and then make it abundantly fucking clear that I was him.
Well, see, the funny thing is I was going to say that this would be true when I was 15, but the fact is it'd be true now. Someone's robbing a bank. I don't care. I have a petty grievance I need to address with my superpowers.
Yeah. But also, and for me, I'd be such a great Spider-Man. Oh man, that bank's being robbed. I really don't believe in banking institutions. I think they're kind of problem. So I actually identify with that guy. I actually would be robbed. I literally would become like Spider-Man Robin Hood, where I wouldn't give it all back to the poor, but like, I'd certainly like, fuck you. That's a multinational corporation.
Fuck Wells Fargo. I've seen Heat. I know that the bank, they're taking the bank's money, not yours.
Damn straight. At the party, there's a sweet penis Parker scene as reference.
Sure.
Ned is there with his fabulous hat.
Well, so I guess this is when this happens. So before the scene we were talking about before, when Spider-Man's like trying to be a hero around the city, there's a really protracted moment of him taking off his clothes and putting on the Spider-Man suit. Yeah, and like he gets down to his boxers and puts on the Spider-Man suit. It's sort of a tooling up scene. And so to save time, just in case this happens again, or he wants to reveal that wants to pretend to be Spider-Man at the party, and so you can tell he's got the costume on under his clothes. And then later, when he actually gives the call to action and he has to take off his clothes, when they find a pile of clothes, there's boxer shorts there. So he was wearing boxer shorts over his spider suit.
Oh, that's adorable.
So Spider-Man is a never nude.
Yeah. Oh, that is adorable. Yeah. And honestly, that fits the character so well that I'm sure they thought of that.
I don't know that they did, but I think it's rad.
No, I think
it's rad as hell.
I think that's perfect. I did enjoy, again, every Aunt May scene. I did like there's this subtle edge of she used to bone like a motherfucker. She's like, oh yeah, I used to remember going out to parties at the suburbs, and you just get this like wistful, like, yeah, she's right, yeah, she's doing pretty good.
I wish at the same time, because I like Marissa Tomei as an actress. She's very attractive, but I like her as an actress, and I kind of wish they would do more with her because she's just barely there.
Oh yeah. I got nothing to add to that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Which
I was like, that might be right, but also you were complaining the movie's too long. So
yeah.
Like,
no, I agree. But I just wish I wish the time was better spent.
Yeah.
I guess I'll say that. Which so I don't like Tony Stark anymore. and I don't know what happened. But this happened when I was watching Infinity War. I was just like, I'm tired of this character. I don't like him anymore, and I don't know why that is. But I just don't.
I think the character's pretty over, and I'm hoping that whatever generation they're on, it doesn't last to the next one.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know if it's just like the me personally sort of being tired of sort of technocratic solutions or something like that, or just like the hope of technology and super geniuses. Less because Elon Musk exists, I'm less excited by, but it's just something about it. I'm like, I just don't like you anymore.
Yeah,
it's just like I've had enough of you.
No, it's overused. It's the same. I would say the same for Deadpool. Like, I love Deadpool. I love Deadpool too, but like, not really. Don't know. I'm kind of all right. Like, I'm good. And Iron Man was the same way. I'm like, there's too much Iron Man. Like,
yeah. Well, and again, like same thing where it's like because so many of these Marvel movies have this very same voice.
Yeah,
that it's not special. It's just kind of more of the same. But so we're at the party.
Oh yeah. So he sees some weapons fire of the alien variety.
So here's the thing I noticed, not to completely...
How fucking convenient that is, because that was part of the movie. I'm like, really? Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have spider sense in this movie.
No.
He does not have spidey sense, and that was okay. I mean, all right. It's just something I thought about afterwards. I was like, oh yeah, he never really has spidey sense.
Well, I think it's implied that he does. It's just not like...
He hasn't figured it out.
And it's probably just like growing, because in Infinity War, you see him, like his forearm hair bristles, and then he looks over and sees I think that's the reference. And he does have like really incredibly quick dodging and whatnot. So I think it's kind of a...
It's just implied.
Yeah, or
sense.
My way I was reading it is that his
implied
powers...
sense.
Ooh, very nice.
Thank you.
That his powers are still growing was my thought process. His little 15-year-old body still growing and learning itself.
Sure. So yeah, so he sees the weapons fire and decides, instead of making an appearance and impressing everyone as Spider-Man, that he's just going to bail and go.
Yeah. This is the part of the movie that I disliked. And I didn't dislike most of the movie, but this part I thought was stupid.
But it did have one of my favorite jokes in it.
The Ferris Bueller thing?
No.
Because I thought that was incredibly stupid.
No, what I liked was he's running towards danger and he shoots a web at nothing. And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. And then has to just run. Like, I liked that idea that he's just like, all right, ready to go. And it's like, oh wait, I'm not in the city right now. I can't do that.
No, I like that. I liked that he pulled a treehouse down because he thought he could web to it,
yes.
which was fun.
Yeah.
Like, there was a couple spots there, but when they showed the Ferris Bueller thing
when there was a
TV,
one-to-one shot, yeah, that was really like, oh, do you get it? Do you get it, audience?
No, and then they put a nail on it. He goes, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
And like his character is actually... Like, they have established that he likes old movies for somebody of that age. So, like, it's not out of character. It was just like, boy, you really just hitting every nail on every head.
But, I could have, like, I needed two. I needed him knocking the treehouse over and him, like, crashing the girls' slumber party accidentally, whatever. I didn't need all the going through the neighborhood.
Yeah, no, it went too long. And especially on a dumb mission that shouldn't have, like, how the chances of that happening are so fucking
it was
stupid.
Really stupid. And then I also like, so he gets there and, there's a weapons deal going down. And who's buying weapons? Donald Glover.
Yeah, Lando Calrissian himself.
Who was in the running to be Spider-Man for a moment, but...
well, he played the voice of one of the animated Spider-Man.
Yeah, but no, he's a thug now, so that's cool. And his character is apparently the Prowler or something, and is the uncle of Miles Morales, who becomes Spider-Man at some point.
Yeah.
Great. Don't care. Whatever. But yeah, there's a deal going down because these guys that are building space age technology are selling it to a street thug because that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the guy is showing off, and then he can hear Spider-Man gets a call from Ned, he's ditched at the party, and his cover is blown, and they're going to shoot Donald Glover because they think he's ratting them out. And he's like, no, shoot me. And then
Shocker punches him. He got just chewing the pink in one of the steak, just wham. And I'm just gonna keep going. And then the dumb chase scene happens, and then they throw the gun at him, Superman style. So then the Vulture shows up, which I actually really like the part where the Vulture shows up.
Yes,
he is scary as shit.
Yes,
like I love the way they show this character. So him just coming in, just pulling him out of the air, like just fucking badass. Basically, Spider-Man gets his ass kicked. He's dropped out of a very great height towards water, which, hey, thank God there's some water there. Mm-hmm. And the Tony Stark's, I don't know what they're called, but robot suits. I assume they have like a comic
I don't
name.
know, ghost suits. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah,
they
ghost
do.
suits. Perfect. Yeah, one of Tony Stark's ghost suits.
The Iron Brigade or
Yeah,
something.
it goes
I don't know.
like, "Ooh, I shall get you from the bottom of this moat," and then he pulls him out of the thing because he fell in water because the parachute was stuck to him.
I guess, yeah.
That whole sequence was dumb.
Yes.
And then he has a conversation with Tony, and Tony is at a wedding in India. Which this goes to your being tired of Tony Stark thing of like, oh, this is one like that's when it was just kind of like ugh at Tony Stark things like what like he makes like a dumb like Ganesh joke or something. It's just like I'm good.
It's just that there's other intrigue going on. You know what I mean? Like, why are you Skyping in from a wedding? Like, I don't. His whole relationship to Spider-Man is weird to me because so he gave Spider-Man this suit. Like is all you find out like has all these tracking stuff in it, something like that. Why not just teach the kid how to use the suit? Like you have the time. What are you doing? Why not? I don't know. Just that whole thing just seemed very bizarre to me. And this whole because at one point later he's like, "Oh, you did a good job," and my dad didn't teach me or didn't praise me enough, so I want to break that cycle. Well, you could do it by actually teaching the kid how to use the suit, and that was just a weird that you would give this kid this hugely powerful thing and just be like, "Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine."
Well, there's
we'll
another,
call you.
There's an aspect of this that I thought they did well, and it plays into it. One is that Tony Stark is essentially like a grown child, so he's not good at this. But I did like so. He's talking to Spider-Man at some point. I don't remember when it is, but since we're talking about their relationship, where he makes a reference to when you gave that Colombian lady directions or whatever. So apparently Tony has listened to all of these messages that Peter has called in on, and I thought that was kind of a sweet moment. Like, obviously he has sat there and all this just dumb shit Peter's been reporting back, like, he actually cared enough to listen to.
Yeah.
I thought that was he actually is, like, in his own fucked up, bad way, trying to mentor this kid. I thought it was like a subtle, good moment. But also, as you mentioned earlier, I'm kind of tired of Tony Stark, and I didn't really need him in the movie.
And then when there was one set of footprints, that's when he was carrying him. Like it was this very like I'm a non-caring god.
He's got repulsor technology.
Right.
He wouldn't even care. It's when you saw like repulsor technology imprints in the sand. That is when he was flying you in his nanotechnology.
But yeah, but I don't know. It's just like I've been listening. I just don't give a shit. But thank you. Keep calling.
No, see, I took it completely the other way. Why would he even bother to listen to all the messages? Like, he actually cares enough. Like, he is checking it. I thought that was a sweet little moment, except I don't need him in the movie.
Yeah.
So good. But also, not to be like, in the next movie I'm going to nerd out here. But I think the reason they don't introduce Uncle Ben is because we're talking about him. Is because Tony's going to... So whatever... they undo the snap, however that happens, Tony gets killed during it. That's the great power, great responsibility thing. So we're actually still watching the origin story. I'm so right.
Oh, I guarantee you are.
Yeah.
That is a bummer. I don't know why that irritates me, but that irritates me.
Oh, so... all right, let's get back to the plot here, because now the next really dumb thing happens. Back at the hideout, Michael Keaton's like, "I'm mad at you for doing the dumb thing," and the guy's like, "Fuck you! I'll fucking tell people what we're doing here. I to tell your wife how you're making your money."
Yeah.
So he grabs a gun and disintegrates him, and he goes, "The fuck was that? I thought that was the anti-gravity gun." And the guy's like, "No, the anti-gravity gun's over there. Oh, gabagool! I don't even know."
That's what I mean. Like he murders a guy, and it's just.
Not even a guy.
Yeah.
A man he's worked with intimately for 8 fucking years
and
at least.
None of his coworkers, none of his henchmen or whatever have an opinion about it. They're just like, it's the dangers of doing business, I guess.
That was so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But I really like Michael Keaton, and I like a lot of his acting in this that I didn't forgive it, but I went, I'm just going to put that in a little vault.
Yeah.
I'll deal with it later, because that was dumb.
This man, I mean, as far as we know, this is the first time he's murdered.
Yeah.
This is the first time he's crossed that line, and to one of his own people, no less.
Yeah.
And he's just like, dope, let's make a joke out of it, and then I'll move on.
That was really tone deaf, and that was the moment when that happened. In the theater watching it, I had the thought of, oh, that's the stuff John doesn't like in Marvel movies.
Well, it's like if they had
I think about you a lot when I'm in the theater.
I'm sure, but if
Especially when I'm alone.
If you like want to try to like ground this in some kind of reality and give it some kind of like weight. Like, don't do that. If you don't want to, if you want him to be, mustache twirly bad man, that's fine too. Like, you just pick a lane, I guess. And so because you want him to be this working class aggrieved guy and like have this sort of like character that he's I don't know, just that murder, how just tossed off it was really bothered me.
Yeah, it bothered me too. That was stupid. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, so basically, this enters into like he's got to get to DC thing. Like so, Ned and him are kind of investigating the glowy thing, and it turns out nothing. They didn't really figure out. They figured it's an energy source. Oh yeah, we whatever. He put a tracker on one of the bad guys. Realized that the tracker went to Maryland. And Maryland being close to DC where they're having the debate tournament, he goes, oh, fuck, I got to rejoin my debate team so I can get to DC.
Well,
so
it's an academic decathlon.
What did I say?
Debate.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Academic decathlon. Correct. Well done, John. God, no wonder no
50
one
points,
likes you.
Gryffindor.
You're not a Gryffindor. You're a fucking Hufflepuff if I've ever seen one. Through machinations, he gets down to DC. And this is where we already referenced it, but his temptation via Liz of, hey, you should come swimming in the pool with us because I'm hot and young and you're hot and young. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, no.
Plus, it would build morale for the team to hang out.
No, Miles Morales is a different Spider-Man.
Oh, sorry.
You're in the wrong universe. But I see where it comes from.
But I like that his reaction is like, I can't do it. But what I will do is creepily stare at you from the roof.
Yeah. But again, 15 totally understood that.
Yes. No, absolutely.
I would have stayed for a little bit longer. And since I haven't done it yet, would have shot some blood fluid. I made it nearly 40 minutes into this recording without conflating web fluid with jism. In fact, I think that's the first movie, Spider-Man movie that hasn't made that joke that quickly. Because boy,
that's true. Yeah,
he has disabled his the tracker in his suit, and also enabled his girl Friday type Jarvis AI that's in the suit that is friends with him.
I hate this so much.
See, I thought you would like it a lot.
I
would have thought when I was watching that, I was like, you know what, this is a thing that John would really like.
So I am in general, and I understand it's a way of us dealing with the world that we live in, but I am tired of wacky AI as a thing. And this isn't even that wacky, but I'm tired of people talking to AI things. And it's also just upsetting as a character because instead of Spider-Man doing things, it's Spider-Man using a computer, basically. Like, it's kind of like the realization when you start to figure out that Batman's not that great, he just has a fantastic support staff. That he's constantly calling on Alfred or Oracle or whatever to do stuff.
Yeah.
That he's just a great middle management guy. Is that instead of Spider-Man like just having a suit that hides his identity and doing all this stuff, he's like, Karen, which is what he decides to call the AI. Do this for me, do that for me, do this. And that's just much less interesting to me than a guy that can just do things on his own.
Yeah. The only thing I liked about that was activating instant kill mode.
Yes.
Which I found to be a funny runner. I like that his eyes turned evil black with a tiny red dot in the center, a la Hal from 2001. I was like, that is a funny fucking thing. But also, is that a joke in the movie? Because Tony would never actually program in instant kill mode. So is this like kind of, are we watching a meta joke on Spider-Man?
Well, so we should mention that the way he's able to access all this is that Ned, who very much wants to be his, I believe he calls it, guy in a chair.
Which I also, on a meta level, I like that.
That journey was kind of fun. They find out that Ned's able to hack into the suit, this multi-million-dollar suit from Stark Industries that I'm sure has no security protocols whatsoever, or at least Ned is smart enough that he can break through them, and finds out that the training wheels mode is activated and is able to take it off. And although they've been tracking his every move, apparently, they don't notice that. Because why would you give basically a nuclear bomb in a suit to a child and then just not have notifications that that's happening?
You do realize that we're talking about the same guy that created an AI that nearly destroyed the planet like 2 movies earlier.
Yeah, no, Tony Stark sucks.
He's that's stuff. So that's not a plot hole.
No, I'm not saying that's a plot hole. I'm just saying, Tony Stark fucking sucks.
This character's a fucking idiot when it comes to stuff.
So that's why he has access to this. And this is what I was talking about where I like Spider-Man struggling to be a hero versus him learning to use his powers. And so now that he has all these, he's unlocked the full capabilities of a suit, he sucks at being Spider-Man now. He's falling on his face all the time. And I'm too powerful for this. I don't know what I'm doing here. And I just didn't like that so much. I felt like that was a pointless growth thing for the character to achieve when there's already stuff built in. Why add this additional hurdle? And I just don't like the idea of him having an AI suit. I think that's really stupid.
No, I wasn't a fan of that. I sort of like the idea of them explaining how to get to the different kinds of web variety. But no, you don't need the suit thing. And that's the part you're talking about with him sucking at his powers. It was just more he stuck to using the suit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have an argument for that. It's another part of the film that I wasn't happy with. Other than I did like the sequence where he's trying to keep himself occupied when he gets stuck in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Where he's just doing all this stuff. He's like, how long have I been here? It's like, you've been in here for 36 minutes. It's like, oh, for the love of Christ.
Sure.
I found that to be amusing.
But like, I didn't like later when it's like, now's your moment to tell her how you feel. What?
So he goes to, that warehouse thing?
Yeah, so he in trying to track the, after he creepily watches his erstwhile girlfriend, I guess, in a swimming suit, he's going to go, follow the...
swimming suit?
Yes, a swimming suit. Swim clothes.
What
Sorry.
What are you for
Sorry,
fucking,
Grandma.
You're the one, a swimming suit.
Yes, a swimming suit. What do you call it?
I don't know. Bathing suit?
No, she's not bathing. She's swimming, isn't she?
Swimsuit.
Nope, it's a swimming suit.
All right.
Just like he's wearing his spidering suit. But so after he does that,
Did you have to bring one of those tents out?
yeah, they're big and have stripes on them, and it's. But so he is tracked. Yeah, he's tracking the vulture, tracks him to the truck, and that's when you first see the vulture's technology of here's this thing I can put down, makes a square, and I can just pass through solid metal. Does so, gets in the truck because there's all kinds of gear in there, and Spider-Man tries to stop him. Vulture fucks him up, ends up throwing him in the truck, and then removing the portal thing, so he's stuck in the truck. Which I thought this was going to be lead into turns out Spider-Man's a villain, because I always like that J. Jonah Jameson hates Spider-Man kind of thing, and they didn't really delve into that in this, which is fine. So Spider-Man, gets trapped, and it turns out he's taken to this disposal cleanup center, the Tony Stark's thing where they clean up superhero mishaps, I guess. And he's stuck in this warehouse, but boy, he's got to get out because he's got to get to the academic decathlon. And the morning happens, and he starts to get out, and then he misses it. He misses the whole thing.
Yeah, and they win anyway. Thanks to Gothy Lady. Thanks to who I shall now call Daria. So yeah, this is when Washington Monument sequence happens.
Mm-hmm.
Wherein they're in the Washington Monument, and Peter's trying to frantically call Ned because it turns out that glowy thing, explosive.
Yeah, it's a bomb.
And if it gets some X-rays all up on it, it's going to explode. It explodes in the most unexplosive way that ever happens.
Yes.
In that it's on Ned's back, and then it just kind of shoots up.
Yep.
And then Ned's fine, and the elevator gets injured. So he's got to do a get over his fear of heights. And he's got to smash through the window of the Washington Monument, which actually I thought was a nice looking sequence.
Yes, no, that was a neat little thing because he's trying to swing against it and he doesn't have enough power to do it. And then the DC police show up in a helicopter and are like, "Hey, stop doing that!" And then he does this cool flip over the. And I think, does he have the little spider wing armpit?
Yeah,
things?
I think so. Yeah.
I always like that.
Yeah.
And then uses them to give the leverage to kick through the window. And
yeah, and he just grr, me strong, and he saves everybody in the elevator. Which couple of moments here. I like that Flash saved the trophy.
Yes.
He was getting out, which I thought it's an obvious character choice, but I'm glad they did it.
Yeah.
And his Brooklyn accent is like, "Hey, what's going on, everybody?"
Yeah. So when he's Spider-Man, to help people not figure out that he's Peter Parker, he's doing this total. When he's finding crooks, he'll just do his regular voice.
Yeah.
But because they know him, he just lays on real thick.
Yeah, which
New
I
York Guido voice.
Yeah, he's got oh boy, like a Bruce Willis,
something Return of Bruno.
Yeah, like Bruce Willis doing Bruno. Yeah. Like, hey, I'm a Jersey guy.
Where you go?
Hey,
gabagool.
Yeah, take a look at these. Forget about it. So there's hey, wow, you did it. You saved the thing, and it was great.
It's a minor thing, but why not keep him in New York?
Yeah, didn't need the DC trip.
Yeah, why is he in DC? What was gained from him being in DC? Other than yes, the guy's doing interstate commerce, I guess. So it's a federal offense.
No, I think they could have done it any number of ways. But what I think is gained there is confirmation later in the driving to the prom scene, which we'll get to.
Yeah,
because that's how he figures out.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I just feel like there's a better.
No,
way to do that.
of course,
particularly if the whole idea, and not to jump all the way to the end, but the whole idea is friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah, it'd be nice if he was in the neighborhood.
The next kind of important thing is he ends up finding out where Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon is.
Yes,
and he's
sitting on a toilet that has a bomb on it.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, Childish Gambino, come here," and he's like, All right, Lando, you and me, we got to talk.
I did enjoy this scene.
Yeah,
Simply because it does do a great job of setting up Batman, because he figures out where he is and the suit's like, well, do you want to activate enhanced interrogation techniques? And he's like, yeah, sure. Which doesn't make any sense because everything the suit has offered to him has never worked up to this point.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, let's do this one. And the enhanced interrogation techniques is just he has this stupid low Batman voice. So
Yeah.
he's just like walking up to Donald Glover in a parking lot. It's like, where are they?
Yeah.
It is great.
It is great. And Donald Glover, no selling, is like, man, that's not your voice.
What are you doing?
I heard you the other day.
Yeah. Well, he shoots a web at Donald Glover's hand, so he's stuck to the trunk of his car. And I liked how his car doesn't have a back window. It's just a tarp over it. And I was like, yeah, Spider-Man's just beating up poor people. Like,
yeah,
hooray.
Yeah. But I did enjoy the kind of making fun of Batman scene. And also Donald Glover is endlessly charismatic. But
Man, I wish he was Spider-Man.
I don't wish he was Spider-Man. I wish he was any. I hope he gets a superhero role. He gets Donald Glover to say where the arms deal is going down, where he can find the Michael Keaton's crew, and it's like, oh man, it's Staten Island Ferry, 11 a.m. And he's like, I also like this person. Like, all right, cool, I gotta go. He's like, man, no, you're not. You gotta get me off there. It's like, nope, you're a bad guy. I can leave you there.
Yeah,
you're a
like,
criminal.
I've got ice cream. Yeah.
I like that because I felt very actual comic book version of Spider-Man right there.
Yeah.
Of him just running away. He's like, yeah, you're not really the top level bad guy, so I'll just let you go. But you're a bad guy. You deserve this 2 hours.
Yeah, you're stuck. Yeah.
So there's the Staten Island Ferry sequence, which, I mean, do we really need? It's just an action sequence.
Yeah, it's he's scoping out the ferry and he sees that Bokeem Woodbine, which I have not mentioned, the Bokeem Woodbine being one of the Shocker guys, is the guy that's now Shocker. I think Bokeem Woodbine is great.
Oh, who is that? I couldn't place him.
Did you see Fargo season 2?
No.
Okay. Well, he was really great in that. He's been an actor. He's been around for a while. He was I can't remember. He was a rapper in the first season of The Sopranos. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
I think Sopranos might be where I know him from.
But he's a really good actor in it. So it bummed me out to see him kind of relegated to this small role. But he sees that he's on the boat. And he's tracking them. He's got his little drone spider thing, which I like that's the center spider in his outfit. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
I also dig that he calls him Droney.
Yeah. And so the thing is tracking that's got a white pickup, so he sees where the weapons are, and then he's tracking where they are. And so then while this is happening, he's getting a call from Tony Stark to finally Tony's actually like, hey, good job on taking people from Washington D.C. Well, I'm proud of you. And he's like trying to hang up on him because he's doing something else. And then, breaks up the fight. But then, in doing so, the feds show up. They've apparently been tracking the Vulture as well. Or because of his doing shit, Tony has been tracking him and puts the feds on them.
Tony basically
he tells him later.
At him. Yeah.
But Michael Keaton is there as well, which I was a little surprised about. Like, why would you be there? Why would you?
Well, I guess this was the last big deal, so you wanted to make sure.
I guess, yeah. It's just it's a management team. You got to trust your people. But I guess this was, this is a new Shocker, so you gotta, it's good management. I'm sorry, it's my bad. It's good management.
Yeah, he also did murder one of his people a few scenes earlier, so he's down one guy, so he's got to show up at least.
But so Michael Keaton shows up as the Vulture.
Well, I loved that scene.
Yes.
Where he rips out of the back of a van, just as violent, I was like, oh, dude, this is fucking, I really like the way the Vulture suit works, where it's just like this, it feels like real life and fucking dangerous.
Yes. Yeah. So that was a few times where it felt serious. And ends up cutting the boat in half. And then Spider-Man, is like, oh shit, and whips through and throws a whole bunch of webs between them. And I even like that. I really like that one bit where he throws 3 or 4 and then does another one where he kind of spins around them to kind of tighten them up.
Oh yeah.
It's just a little thing, but I enjoyed that. Shoots all the webs and then gets a message from Karen that says, congratulations, you were 98% successful. I don't know based on what metrics, but and he's like, what, 98? And then this dude inside is like, yeah, Spider-Man. And then the webs start breaking. And then he's got to try to fight it and does the whole thing where, again, I think this is in the trailer, where he shoots webs at each side and is trying to just hold the boat together.
Yeah.
And then, Iron Man shows up and saves the day. And he's able to push the boat together and seal it all up.
So Iron Man and Peter have a bit of a talk, and I really like one moment here where Peter's like, "Yeah, well, you would actually be here if you cared." And at that moment, the suit opens and Tony walks out of it.
Yeah.
But I like how Peter backs away afraid of him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck. That was a really small moment of acting. I was like, ooh, that was cool. Like,
well, that was sort of this little, like teenager asserting power and then, oh shit, I actually don't have this power.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I liked that. I agree. I did enjoy that moment. But yeah, so then Tony's like super pissed at him and is like, you screwed the pooch. And someone almost died, which I'm surprised no one died.
Yeah, how did no one die?
Yeah, because it's Marvel and it's fine. But yeah, it's like, you're done. Give me the suit. Like, you failed whatever test I've been giving you.
Yeah. Well, I guess that was the training wheels program, was just, making sure he does good stuff.
Yeah, and not bad stuff.
Yeah, but what he did was bad stuff.
He activated the bad stuff protocol.
Yeah, by ruining an FBI sting. Which, by the way, you could have been like, what he said, don't follow these guys. You could say, I've got the feds on them. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Because, again, communication, Tony, it's important in a fathership role.
Now, okay, so there you go. So the Vulture, better management skills than Tony Stark.
Small question here. He gets sent to the principal, who is one of the Howling Commandos from Captain America movies. So is that his grandson or something?
Yes, because he has pictures of him in his pictures of his apparently like his grandfather or something.
I didn't notice those pictures.
Yeah, but it's the same actor.
Yeah, because you were saying before they don't like to recast actors.
Yeah.
So if that's not him, that's very racist of Marvel.
No, it's apparently supposed to be like his kid or something. In a way, great.
Pete asks Liz to the prom, which again, nice scene where it's like, you want prom, go.
Well, and so this is again what I was talking about. So he completely abandoned his team. He's the smartest guy they know. He completely abandoned his team, and she's like, "Well, that sucks. Well, you want to go to homecoming?" Yes, I do. Yeah. Like, there's just no consequences, and he gets called into the principal's office. He gets detention, and the detention he walks out of detention. Does not matter. Later, the principal's just like, straighten up, kid. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just because all of these choices he's making, he's always deciding to be a hero. And the consequences, high school wise, don't matter. Now, granted, in the world of collapsing boats versus high school, collapsing boats are much greater stakes.
Yeah, it's fair enough. If you want to be a commercial piece of shit that doesn't enjoy anything.
I do.
Okay, good.
Look, I likes what I likes, and I don'ts what I don'ts, and I don'ts this.
Well, if I may refute your don'ts with my does, no, you're right. It's just,
Shut up.
Yeah, shut your face. Let me like the movie.
That's fine. Yeah.
I just really want to get to the next part, honestly.
Sure.
Because this is my favorite part of the film. So, well, not this part. I did like so there's like a training montage where he's like, hey, I have to learn how to dance and how my dick work. And she does and there's a cool montage scene to like 80s music.
Yes. Of her getting him ready for homecoming.
Yes.
That was sweet.
And I love how the music carries up to him nervously knocking on the door of her house. And Michael Keaton answers the door.
Yeah.
Because that's Liz's dad.
Yeah.
In the movie theater, I went, because I was like, oh God, did he kill her?
Yeah.
And then even worse, that's her dad. I was in cold sweats watching this in the theater when it came out of like, oh fuck, does he know? Like that entire sequence is so fucking good.
You can call that a narrative contrivance. You can go really in all of New York, he's managing to date the daughter of the villain.
Yeah.
I liked it.
No,
it worked for me. Like it was
so well
I
done.
enjoyed it. Like, and the following scenes are great. Like particularly the drive over, I really enjoyed.
The breakdown of so he doesn't know he's Spider-Man yet, and then over the course of the car ride, Michael Keaton puts it together, and his acting is so good of like the kind of growing menace in his voice.
Well, instead of being the like protective father. It's because it starts out like that, where it's like, I'm unsure about you, kid, and I'm trying to be nice, but you're still dating, taking my daughter out, and, I don't know about this. 8 simple rules for dating my teenage daughter become, I fucking hate you and I will kill you.
Yeah, because the end of that car ride is so beautiful. It's like, all right, honey, I got to give the speech to your boyfriend, as anybody does. And the speech is, if you tell anybody, I will murder you. I will murder anybody you've ever loved. Are we clear, Pete?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's so that whole
it's Michael Keaton. Like it's all Michael Keaton.
But that
he
whole
does such a great job here.
And I really think that's why I like this movie so much is that run of like, it's so fucking tense.
Yeah.
Like, it was, and then they're at a prom.
Well, what's annoying about that is, again, so he goes into homecoming, and then immediately is just like, you deserve better than this. I gotta go, and bails on Liz.
He's a
there's
dick.
Not even a thing. And so I guess Homecoming technically in the title is him coming home to the Marvel Universe, not the dance itself. Because he immediately leaves the dance, and Shocker is there. Bokeem Woodbine is there, which doesn't make any sense. Because Michael Keaton just figured out that he was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There's no time for Bokeem Woodbine to even have shown up. Why would he have been trailing Michael? Doesn't matter.
I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But so you get this neat little action scene of him punching things, buses mainly, and Peter Parker having to fight someone without his suit for the first time in a long time.
And who saves the day? But the man himself,
Ned.
Why
is he at the dance?
I think he's just one of those guys that like shows up hoping to dance with someone.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then
he's got his hat on. So,
that's true.
All the
He's
girls are gonna be,
he's ready to bang.
All the girls are ready to cream, if I could quote Grease lyrics.
Then he's able to dispatch Shocker, tie him up with some webs, and then he steals Flash's car. In terms of being using the suit for petty teenage stuff, that makes sense, but that wasn't the goal here. The goal here is I just need to get after this guy. You have your web shooters. Why aren't you just flying around the city? But no, he's got to drive this cool car.
Well, I mean, he's kind of in Queens, so there's not that many large buildings to swing off of, and also I'm pretty sure he could drive faster. I mean, there's no traffic at 8 o'clock at night.
He's Spider-Man. That was a weird moment for me. I mean, I don't know Queens. I don't know the architecture of Queens, but it's you have web. That's what you've been doing most of the movie.
Yeah.
Why are you not doing that now? Doesn't matter. It was still kind of a fun scene because he's trying to follow this guy, and then Ned gets his chance to be guy in the chair because gets in the school library and is
which I love that story arc of him finally being guy in the chair,
and he's trying to look up instructions on where the light, how to drive the car, where the lights are, and then also trying to look up. I forget what else he's trying to look up.
I think he was tracking his phone.
He's tracking Peter's phone that he left in Michael Keaton's car, because Michael Keaton claims he's going out of town. And he wants to figure out where his shit is. And that he ends up tracking Michael Keaton to his lair. And the Tinkerer just always keeps wanting to make a vacuum seal thing. He keeps referencing we'll do this one heist. And Michael Keaton's no, that's dumb. And finally, he's okay, the feds are onto us. We got to do one big thing and then shut it down.
Yeah.
And so he's cleared out his lair, and that's where Spider-Man meets him at. And Michael Keaton gets the drop on him and has his suit crush through a whole bunch of pylons or whatever you call those, and brings down the whole building on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then escapes to go do his thing.
Now, I liked so much of the scene, it's ruined by one really dumb part.
What's that?
I like the claustrophobia. I like him actually crying.
Yes.
And asking for help. I like him trying to get up and not doing it. But then he sees his fucking mask with half of his face reflected with half of the mask.
Yes.
And it was so stupid and so that would probably work in a comic book, but it doesn't work in real life. It doesn't and it was just so dumb.
Yeah.
And then I do like his triumphant finally getting up and him hyping himself up, going, "Come on, Spider-Man!" And I like that, but that fucking mask thing really, ruined that whole sequence.
It didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
He gets out, and for as much building up as they did to the vacuum seal thing, it wasn't that exciting. I was kind of expecting more. But so it turns out
that was weird. It was just 10 minutes of Michael Keaton just with a fleshlight, just staring dead at the camera, dead on, just humping a fleshlight.
Very upsetting.
And they going, Peter,
Pedro. So also in tracking his phone, Ned has called Happy, and Happy's very angry, and you overhear him they're about to take off in 10 minutes, and they're moving out of Avengers Tower to someplace upstate. Because as we've established, the Avengers are 2 people now. And that's it. So they need a whole new mansion.
Yeah.
And then he puts together that, oh my God, Vulture's going to rob the Avengers plane that's transporting all this stuff, including some magic belt of Thor's. Why would they have that? Who knows? But they have it. Some new shield for Captain America. Why is he building a new shield for Captain America? I thought Captain America was a war criminal. Doesn't matter. They have it. And some other powerful stuff. So Michael Keaton just taking off, flying there. Peter Parker catches him, being dragged behind him. They get up onto the plane, which has no pilot, no security, just it turns invisible. Which I thought was kind of I like the invisible jet thing. That was kind of cool. Just the technology of how they did it was kind of it mirrors everything. That's kind of cool. But you just no security at all.
Yeah.
Really?
I did like, especially about the camouflage technology they use, where Spider-Man's crawling on the plane, and for a moment the whole plane was Spider-Man colored, which I was like, oh, that's so cool.
That was a neat
Like,
little thing, yeah. But so the vacuum seal thing is that Michael Keaton can turn his wings into a seal around the plane so he can climb in and get shit. Use his matter phase thing. And yeah, there's all kinds of superpowered shit in there. And he's like, this is the big score. And then Spider-Man gets in there, and then they fight.
Yeah. Some of that fight scene was great. I liked how he kind of webbed up a jet engine, and it kind of breaks and he goes, "Oh, I can't believe that worked." I really enjoyed. Like,
that was really cool.
There was some kind of good Spider-Man-y stuff, and they basically he wins.
Yeah,
he beats him up.
Well, this was we referenced it before, but right before this whole fight, this is where Michael Keaton gives the whole speech about like, the rich people don't care about guys like you and me. We're living off their crumbs. This is all bullshit. That's it. And it's like, as we mentioned, he's absolutely right.
Oh, no,
like,
totally. Yeah. He's
and Michael Keaton has said, like, some people think they're always the victims, and that's what Toombs is. It's like, no, Toombs got screwed. Like, does that mean he needs to be an arms dealer? No, but he got rudely fucked over.
Massive overreaction, but he is in the right.
Yeah. Tony Stark sucks. Like, Tony Stark just fucked this guy over, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to think that Tony Stark is great. But anyway, so they fight, and Peter Parker brings it up inside of him, manages to even though they crash the plane, to kind of save the Vulture from dying and be a good guy.
Yeah.
And then I have some problems.
No. Why don't you tell me what your problems are? Because I have a couple coming up. Maybe you will hit on the same points as me.
Well, so some of getting into the ending.
All right.
So he is tied up. He has neatly bound all the packages together and tied through a spider fluid the Vulture to it. So when Happy shows up with people, they're like, "Oh, it's this guy," and Spider-Man did it. Hooray, hooray. He has ruined Liz's life. Liz doesn't know it, but he has ruined Liz's life. So not only did he leave her at Homecoming, she found out her father was this huge criminal and is arrested. She's apparently moving to Oregon, and he sees her at school like the next day and like goes up to talk. She's like, "I'm so sorry." And so obviously she has bigger things on her mind. But being a teenager and completely rational, of course, she just goes, "I hope whatever your problem is, like, you figure it out." Like, this guy has routinely fucked you over. And not even, again, like, she doesn't know that he ruined her life.
No, you're right.
But she's just like, "I'm cool and mature about this." Not just, and I was really irritated by that because, again, no consequences for his actions whatsoever. The fact that she's like, "Well, I still care." Because it's not even like, "Well, I hope you figure out your shit." It's like, I genuinely care that I'm worried about you. That I found irritating, and then the end Tony Stark scene I found very irritating.
But there's a couple things we have to touch before that. Debate team, they're planning for next year.
Yes.
And Peter's like, "I gotta go," and Zendaya's like, "Why? Where are you going? What's we're doing?" And it looks like she's on to him. She goes, "No, I don't give a fuck. Just go."
Yeah.
I really, because again, that actress, I think she's gonna be around forever. There's something incredibly charming about her.
She's great, but like I didn't like that character. And then the end thing was like, "Oh, my friends call me MJ." You wouldn't have mentioned that to these people you've been on the team with the whole time.
Yeah.
Fine. It just was this like eye rolly reveal. Like, "Oh, that's why you've been in all these scenes. Why were you there? Yeah. Oh, because you're MJ, and get ready for the next movie, everybody. Because God forbid we just do a self-contained movie. Yeah. We got to set up the next one."
Now here's the other thing before we get to Tony Stark. One, the scene's actually somewhat funny, but two, really Happy is just hanging out inside of a bathroom.
Okay, that pissed me off. So yeah, so
I thought that's what you were talking about.
But thank you. I actually kind of forgot about that. So the reason MJ has that reaction is because he gets a text that just says, "Meet me in go to the bathroom," and he's like, "Oh, all right," and it's Happy in there.
Tap foot at second stall.
Yeah, so there's a senator in there, but. So Happy's in there, and like he's like, "This job's all I have." He starts giving the speech, and then the toilet flushes, and it's all awkward. This guy comes out and washes his hands and leaves this very long, protracted way. Happy knew the guy was in there. Yeah. Like, how could you not know the guy was in there? And so that was just really stupid. I'm watching. I'm just out loud going, "I hate this. I hate this so much."
That scene was the thing I liked about it is, and it only works in a context of I've seen all these movies. Is I like that's Happy's idea of being a cool, like, Nick Fury moment of coming out of the shadows. Yeah. Is him hanging out in the school bathroom. Like, on paper, that's funny, but it's not executed well.
But even just on its own, that's funny. They didn't need the kid flushing. Like, just that, like, if they just called out that it was dramatic, that he was meeting him in the bathroom, it's almost like that. The better example I can think of is that 30 Rock, where Alec Baldwin has Liz Lemon meet him at an art gallery. And he was like, I knew you'd come, Lemon. And she's like, how'd you know it was me? He's like, I've actually done this 8 times already. And I was wrong. Or, whatever. Where it's just, there's a joke about how stupid the whole setup is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like he's meeting him in a bathroom to have a heart-to-heart. That's weird. And just having the, like basically a fart joke happen in the middle of it was just, yeah.
Okay, so then he said, hey, we're going to upstate New York. And
so feel free to leave school grounds because nothing you do matters.
I'm torn by this scene. Essentially, he offers him a new suit.
Yeah, so he goes upstate to Tony Stark's new location.
Yeah,
and yes, Tony is like, hey,
it's
guess
like,
what?
hey, you can be part of the Avengers. I got a team of 50 reporters behind this wall. That we're going to announce who the new Avenger is. We're going to move you in. You got a room next door to Vision. It's going to be great. And Peter's like, nah, I think I'm just going to keep it small for a while, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. It's like, that was a test, right? And he's like, yeah, it totally was a test. Now, I like that when the big reveal is when they open the door and there's all those fucking reporters and Gwyneth Paltrow walks out. But then I hate everything after that. So there's a really hard split because I'm like,
sure.
Oh, that's a funny joke of, no, yeah, it was totally a test. You passed it. But then all the let's get married shit was really stupid.
Well, here's what I don't like about that scene. So this whole movie, as I've complained about, he's just like, want to be an Avenger, want to be an Avenger, want to be an Avenger. Hey, you want to be an Avenger? No. Why?
Well, I think he learned his lesson about fighting too big of a thing.
Why? Because he did the exact same thing that Tony Stark chided him for earlier, but this time it was good, that he disobeyed and risked people's lives, but this time it's fine.
Yeah.
But then, he just arbitrarily is like, no, I'm going to be a regular Spider-Man. So, okay, I guess there's some kind of maturity there. And then he turns around and immediately goes, that was a test, right? I still want to be an Avenger. I want to be an Avenger. I want to be an Avenger. So that little character growth didn't matter.
Well, no. He said, I want to be an Avenger later. It's more like, I think he recognized he needs some
but the fact that he's
do.
like, that was a test, that's still like, that's his goal inside. I just don't think that character growth was earned or valid.
Well, that's why I didn't think it was particularly character growth in that he turned around and said that was a test.
But I feel like the movie pretends that then he's had no growth throughout the entire movie.
Oh, yeah, I don't think so.
That's not
well,
good.
Maybe not no growth, but like not much.
Yeah, it's like cool. That was great that nothing happened to him, and again, nothing was of any consequence.
But then
Pepper Potts comes out, and oh my God, Gwyneth Paltrow is back in the MCU. Whoop-de shit. And there were reporters waiting back there. And he's like, well, how do I get out of this? Happy, do you still have the ring? And again, being all meta, Jon Favreau's like, I've been carrying this since 2008. Remember when I started the whole Marvel thing? And so rather than get married out of love, Tony Stark's going to get married as a PR cover. What a lovable guy. What a great human being. He's great. We should all love him. And Pepper Potts is like, oh, you rascal.
Back home, he's in his apartment. He's like, hey, Aunt May, you here? And she doesn't answer. So of course he goes, oh, I'll just be in my Spider-Man suit with my face mask off with the door open because my Aunt May didn't immediately answer. And then
so she coast is clear.
What the fuck? And then it cuts to the end sequence and the end title sequence. Delightful.
Oh yeah, fun and colorful and good.
Now, did you watch both of the after credit sequences?
No, I did not. I'm sorry, I failed you.
Well, the second one is the first one is they are in jail together. Toombs and Nacho from I don't know his name, but basically he goes, "Hey man, do you know? I heard you know where the Spider-Man is because we're gonna get together. I got some friends on the outside. We're gonna kill the shit out of him." And he's got a scorpion tattoo.
Yes,
on his
he
neck.
does.
And Toombs goes, "Don't you think if I knew who Spider-Man was, he would be dead right now?" So it actually shows a little bit of redemptive arc for him of like, hey, you saved my life. I'm not going to I'm not like the worst guy in the universe. Like,
sure.
I'm a bag of shit, but it sets up Sinister Six.
Right.
That's the thing. And this is the funnier one. And I think if you still have your stars thing.
I did read about this. I didn't see it, but yeah.
Is maybe put this in somewhere, the audio of it, because it's really funny, because I watched this in the theater. Is after 5 minutes of credits, Captain America comes out in that style of like, hey, it's me, Captain America.
Right.
What you need to know is the lesson for this is patience. Because sometimes you wait like a really, really long time. And frankly, the payoff, it's just not that good. It's like, why did I just sit here in a dark room for this long? How many more of these do I have to do? And then just walks off the screen. And that's it's a fun. I did a poor job of.
No, but that's cute enough. I like it. It's like I like that the Avengers after credit scene was just them at the shawarma place.
Yeah,
like that was one of my favorite things.
Yeah, and this one because I waited through the whole thing and it was like me and 4 other people in the theater by the time the credits had rolled, and we all kind of looked at each other like. Yeah, they totally owned us. Like we got owned by the people at Sony.
You took our money and then you made fun of us. Thank you very much.
I liked this movie a lot more before I started thinking about it a lot and talking to you about it.
It doesn't want you to. I mean, it's breezy. It's whatever. Yeah. I just found that like because it's so, and this is kind of the same problems I had with Thor Ragnarok, where it's like it's so bloated and long, and some unnecessary shit that it's not. If it was much tighter, it'd be a lot funnier and a lot more fun. But yeah, it didn't do it for me. It's not, like I said, it's not bad. It's fine. It's just was not my cup of tea.
Well, I'm glad we didn't do Ragnarok, right?
No.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't because I really like that movie. But I'm thinking if I stared at it for too long, I would stop liking it.
It's better than this. Yeah. I'll say it's better than this.
Because this one, I still have fondness for, but like,
it
kind of fell apart longer. The part that I thought fell apart, I thought was like 6 minutes, but it was actually like 25. It was really kind of the whole second act. It was like, oh shit. Yeah. So yeah, I would say to anybody that for some reason listened to this entire episode and hadn't seen this movie, you should watch it, but try to forget everything we said and just enjoy it. Like get slightly high.
If you like Marvel movies, you'll be fine. You'll
I really like Marvel movies, and now that I've talked about it, I don't know that I like this. But I'm looking forward to the sequel. So
yeah,
I'm a mark. You know, John, anytime I think about Spider-Man, I think about other people with powers and other people with names after insects and small animals. You know, Batman, Puma Man,
Puma Man,
Newt Scamander. You know who that is?
Yeah, isn't he in the Congress or something?
No, he's the lead in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
That's a guy's. Oh, cool. Oh, right. Yeah, it's Harry Potter shit. So yeah, that's absolutely a guy's name.
It is Newt Scamander.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So he wrote.
So wait, is it Newt's Commander? Or is it Newt Scamander?
Hold on, let me.
No, you don't.
Yes, let me just.
Don't read a book at me. How dare you?
Sorry, let me just read Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The book. Yes, it's by Newt Scamander.
How big is that book?
It's small. That's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Okay.
That's Quidditch Through the Ages. And that's the Tales of Beetle the Bard. So Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them and Quidditch Through the Ages are cute. One of them has it's supposed to be Harry and Ron's copy of the book, so they've got them doing doodles and drawings on the pages and like making fun of other people, and it's like a fun little like it's actually supposed to be their.
So, audience, apologies if this sounds weird because I've left and am now Skyping in. This is 3 hours later. I've calmed down.
So anyway, that's what happened with Ariana. So, I mean, geez, gotta talk about a little sister family problem. Yeah. So. That was a Harry Potter deep cut.
Yeah, I figured.
We're going to watch Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the first of the 5.
Are you serious?
She's planning on 5.
Cool.
I should say, though, just leading into this, I'm a giant Harry Potter nerd. I don't like the movies at all. So this is like let's not get anybody's hopes up that this is going to be joyously squeeing at a Harry Potter thing.
Maybe.
You may like the movie more than I do.
Yeah, who knows?
Frankly, I don't like the movies because I like those books quite a lot.
Okay, I like fantastic things. I like beasts, and I like finding out where things are. So there's a good chance I'm gonna like this movie.
Ticks all the boxes.
Yep.
All right, yeah. So Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It's probably available places.
Probably.
Yeah, and if you like the show, share it on social media and leave reviews and things because that helps us have more listeners, which makes us less miserable.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. All right, bye.
Bye.